What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the season finale of the Mike Podcast. That's Mix in Chat. I'm your boy Javi, here with my boy D-Lo.
Yo, what's up?
And we got two special guests in the building to help us conclude this first season. We got our boy Cha-Cha.
What up, what up, what up?
And we got Havoc Bag.
Hey, what's up?
All right, y'all, so let's get into it. All right, so welcome back, and I will go ahead and let y'all know that this episode is going to dive heavy into sports and heavy into social issues. We have two different podcasts that are coming together right now, hence the group effort. We have What It Is with D-Lo and Cha-Cha, and we have The Fuck I Had Said with Havoc and Javi. So there will be two different dynamics coming in on this episode, but know that we are reaching a wide variety of people and a big audience. So each episode could be something different. This is the season finale, so we wanted to bring y'all a little sample of what was going on and what's going to be going on moving forward. For this first part, we're going to hand it over to D-Lo, who's going to get into it on the Olympics, and then Cha-Cha, who's going to talk about the NBA. So what's been going on?
So first of all, I gotta correct something from the last time we was on there, on the coach of the Olympics team. So it's not Grant Hill. Grant Hill's the operation, in charge of operations. Okay. So the coach is actually Steve Kerr. Then you have Mark Few as the assistant head coach, Tyronn Lue, and then Eric Spoelstra. So that's the coaching staff. So okay. I did make a mistake, but nonetheless, the only thing I'm actually worried about this team is Kawhi Leonard. He was a late entry. The Clippers did say he was available one game, and they just ran with it and gave him the last spot.
They have alternates, right?
I think so. I honestly like to rather see Halliburton on there instead of him. You know, somebody like that. Maybe even Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah. He was a good one.
Could Shea? You think Shea could play three?
Oh no, he's on Canada. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, which I mean, he balled out for Canada in the World Cup.
So, question though.
Yeah.
So there's a person that plays NBA basketball in America, but when it comes to the Olympics, he can play for Canada.
Well, they have dual citizenship.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's from Canada.
Okay. So
I was confused. He's like he's Canada.
So is Jamal Murray. And like
Embiid,
is he playing for USA?
Yeah, he's playing for USA, which that was a hot topic because he's actually from Cameroon.
Yeah, and he played for them in the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those players.
So, I think it's a hot topic just because I think he's trying to solidify his way to go to get the gold. Because
he needs to get an NBA title, and that'll shut all that up. He don't have to play anywhere else. Just get his team to get a damn title.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the team as a whole?
As a whole?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean,
you think we're going to take that gold?
Yeah. Which, actually, never mind on the Halliburton as a stand-in. He's already on there. Brown would be a good one. He's not actually on there. Yeah, I think we got a good way of taking the gold. Because, I mean, you got Drew Holiday, Tatum, Curry, Ant-Man, which is Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant, if he's not hurt. Anthony Davis after his little bum shoulder happened during the playoffs.
So it's not necessarily about the talent, though. It's not about the talent.
It's how well they can play together.
It's and sometimes you got to humble yourself and be able to step back. You know, because everybody on this squad is a superstar, and so like back in the past, Kobe's like, I don't need to score. I'll just be a defender. I'll just be a great defender, and I don't have to worry about scoring. Just let me lock down the best player on the other team.
Yeah, which I think that's going to be Drew Holiday's thing. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA.
But and international ball has gotten better over the years, as seen as they who was it that took the gold with Ginobili? Remember they took the gold? Was it
Spain?
No, it was.
Why when he said Ginobili, I was thinking Princess of Genovia.
It was. It wasn't Spain, but I think they beat because US got a bronze.
Yeah, that was Spain. I think. I think that was with Gasol.
Yeah. And, it's all about team camaraderie. You know, you can't be an individual playing thinking that the international teams are just going to roll over now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right because there's so many Goliaths on their team that it can cause them to lose and turn into Davis.
And you also can't really think like that as far as when it comes to the Olympic Games because you're not just representing a team. Now you're representing the entire country.
Yeah.
So as far as that, you have people like, you know, Curry. He's big with having stars around him.
I love Curry.
Booker, he kind of had some stars around him this season, but on a UK level, that was a star-studded team. So I don't think Booker or Bam would have a problem. The only people that I'm actually worried about is Embiid.
Anthony Davis crying about every little touch.
Anthony Davis. LeBron crying at the refs.
Sir Flop a lot.
Come on, Flop.
I know. Bring home the goat if you got to lay down at half court. I don't care. Bring home the goat. That's all I'm saying. That's the one time you allowed to flop LeBron.
As long as he ain't throwing his grown man tender tantrums, I think we'll be good.
Okay. So for all you LeBron fans out there, we just having fun with this. Don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Please continue to tune in because, you know,
I
one
still
thing
like
I ain't going to do
LeBron.
is talk about Jordan, though. I won't do that.
No.
And he is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
We're not going to
right.
say he's the greatest of all time because there's many greats within a time.
What's your podcast saying again? The fuck I had said?
The fuck I
was
ain't
sitting
saying.
there
fuck
like,
I ain't
yeah, yeah. What he see? Yeah.
I'll say that. I mean,
There are a lot of great players. He's my goat. He's my goat.
The fuck he is saying.
So my question is for y'all, each one of y'all, which of the players that are going to the Olympics are you all rooting for the most?
so you want to take that one first?
Yeah, for me, it's Jason Tatum. He's got so much experience as far as NBA, the NBA finals and the NBA tournament. I mean, he's only been to one final, but he's been to a lot of the Eastern Conference finals. And I just think that this would help him get over the hump. I think there's some things that he could take with him that can grow him because I think there's some things that he lacks as far as getting his team across the finish line. And I can talk about that a little bit more when I get into my NBA segment.
I'm kind of torn because I got a couple players. One would be Booker for the same reason. Two, another one is Halliburton, and I think it would be good for him to be with a star-studded team.
So are any of these players like first-time goers in the Olympic basketball?
Anthony Edwards, Halliburton, he's one.
Drew Holiday.
I
I don't know Tatum. I don't know. It's got to be. You said Bam
And Bam. I think this is Bam's first.
Has Steph ever been?
No, actually.
Yeah.
So I think the only people that's actually returning, that's actually played, was Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant.
Embiid, he's got experience, but he was for a different country.
But Bam's the only UK basketball player that it's their first time, or is
No, Booker.
Booker too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then LeBron, of course.
Booker's the handsome one, ain't it? Damn. Okay.
Light skinned mother.
Period.
Light skinned mother. Boop.
So,
The fuck he is saying.
but
Yes. Yes.
so, but yeah, I think, like I said, the only person that I'm actually worried about would be Kawhi. It's just because you look at him wrong, he's hurt, and then Embiid, he's just.
Why are we taking fragile players? Like, what's the team?
Because it's about the star quality.
Yeah.
And they always have an alternate in the background. Like, you a superstar, but just hang in there because we think Kawhi's knee is going to give out. So you just sit still.
So it's the aesthetic.
Stay by your phone.
I don't know what they're going to do if Anthony Davis and Embiid goes out.
But see, Anthony Davis will get hurt during the process, so he'll just be on the bench in the swing.
So is Embiid. I mean, you flick him and he's going.
We don't need him. He ain't never played for us anyway. Well, I'm that hell.
Well, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with him. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm
think
excited.
I think I'm very excited about him too. I mean,
Women's gymnastics.
Oh my gosh, what the thing is, Havoc knows a little bit about the women's
Yeah,
gymnastics
so what-
because there's some records that's going on.
So what are y'all excited to see at the Olympics?
Yeah.
The gymnastics, women's
Mhm.
gymnastics.
Full exercise.
I'm more excited to see if the returning gold medalist Gabby Douglas even makes it back to the
Oh, really? I didn't know that. She's coming back.
Yes.
Told you she got some seed.
She
Word up.
performed here recently in a competition, and she did okay. She had little mistakes here and there and stuff like that, but that's any given gymnast.
She's
which
been
is
out of the game too, right?
Yeah, she's been out of the game for years, so she was kind of influenced by the negativity of social media. So she's like, I'm trying to step back. Like, I can still do this. I'm still strong. I'm still powerful.
Yeah, I'm not old.
And I still have confidence.
And she's not old.
Yeah.
I mean, she's old for gymnasts, but she's not old.
Yeah, also, too, I think it's kind of a little shade rivalry quietness with her and Simone Biles.
Yes, say that.
But we're not talking, but ain't nobody talking about that, but I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
And she I think she wants to make the history of being the oldest woman to come back into the Olympics.
Gotcha.
And if she didn't come back, then it would be Simone.
Okay.
So I'm kind of eager to see if the selection committee is going to pick her to go. Mm-hmm. Whose side are they on, or they don't care, or are they based on talent?
That's what I was about to say. So
it's all about the points, though.
So
you get them points, and they can't leave you off. So go there and do what the hell you supposed to do.
Facts.
Next week we'll see, because they'll be in Connecticut, and all of them going to be there. Simone Biles, Gabby Douglas, Suni Lee.
Now, is that televised?
Yes, that is televised.
What's it coming on?
I think it's going to be actually streamed on Peacock.
Oh, okay.
I'll be watching it. Just look over your shoulder, honey. Ooh, I'll be there. Just look over your shoulder. I'm watching it. I'm telling you, I'm watching the floor exercise. I don't care.
It's going to be great. And it's so they can actually create two teams because they have so much talent. Mm-hmm. You have the old wigs and the new wigs, and it's like...
And they literally wearing wigs.
what the fuck you is in? So
it's good stuff.
I wonder how they're gonna go. You're gonna go with the experience, or you're gonna go with the new? Like, how they're gonna select 5 of these gymnasts to go when everybody's so hungry?
My favorite thing is the uneven bars. I love the uneven bars.
Hey, yeah.
And I want to see who makes it. I hope Gabby Douglas makes it.
I just hope the committee doesn't fall into the whole sort of social media frenzy.
That's the thing.
And leave somebody off that deserves to be there. Like for instance, Gabby Douglas. She's earned her right to be there.
And she's been there before. But
she goes to Connecticut and does well. And then for some reason she misses the last spot, but she outdid the person that's taking her spot.
Right. So wait, have they not actually announced who's going on the gymnastics?
See, basically the thing for us gymnastics, they have like certain tournaments that leads up to the Olympic trials. So you have to qualify and get.
See, I thought they already did that.
No, you have to qualify and get like the points to go to the next tournament.
Exactly.
And then make sure you get those type of qualifications to go to the Olympic trials.
Do what you got to do.
The selection committee picks between those that makes it to the Olympic trials.
That's where I got confused on, because when I was looking up the Olympics, I thought I seen about Gabby Douglas, but I just didn't get to read into it that much.
Yeah, she made it to the next competition, which is in Connecticut, and I can't wait to see, because it's just like basically spewing your talents to see how physically fit you are right now to do what needs to be done.
Honey, that's like Nastia Lukin coming back and was like, "Here, let me do one more real quick."
She's sickening. She is.
Gabby Douglas, if you out there listening, Gabby, do what you have to do. Do not leave it in the hands of the judges.
We're all rooting
Put in
for
work.
you.
Put in the work, and we'll see you. In the Olympics. Just don't leave it in the hand of the judges. Just get the points. Get the points.
She's got to.
Like Karate Kid. Get the point.
Speaking of the points.
Stick the landing, honey.
Speaking of the points, what's going on in this NBA with the playoffs?
So there's just two things I want to talk about.
Okay.
The first one is Jamal Murray for the Denver Nuggets. He threw a heating pad out on the floor in the middle of the game. Like up under the basket. Yeah, the other day. And why? Because he was upset at the referees. But but a player could have really got injured. Yeah. I mean, it was like it went like up under the basket. Why he was in the act of shooting and everything. And then he threw a towel out earlier, and then he did the money sign to the referees, which shows that that's conflict with integrity of the game. Now you're saying, y'all, somebody's in y'all's pockets, whatever. If y'all not getting,
or
the
is
calls.
he in somebody's pockets? Because it sounds like he's trying to throw the game for somebody.
The refs never saw the heating pad, so he didn't even get a tech for it. He was on the bench. He didn't even get a tech for it. But the league saw, everybody in the world saw it. Everybody, and all they did. Well, I ain't gonna say all they did because they fined him $100,000.
Oh,
but he didn't get suspended. He didn't get suspended.
Oh, he should have got that too.
And so that's what I want to talk about. What do you think and why? Because I think it'll be unanimous. Because just the fact alone that he could have potentially ended a player's career. And see, the person that was shooting the shot was Karl Anthony Towns for the Timberwolves, and he's just getting back from a knee injury. He was out for near the end of the regular season for it was either meniscus tear or strain or MCL, one of the two, something with an M. And
pull it up.
Yeah. Turn down for what?
So my question is, I would really like to see the video because it's more like, was it like he just like threw it out there and side-eyed, or was it like he accidentally dropped it out
behind the backboard, right? And like, so the way he was,
no, not behind the backboard. He was behind his bench on the sideline.
Yeah, so here's the backboard. The way they showed it, so here's the camera, right? The backboard, and then they had the shot clock right here. He was behind that and threw it. Like,
but it came from the side though.
Yes.
It didn't come from under the back. It came from the side. It slid.
So this was intentional.
Yeah, no.
It's all over. Oh, you can see him throwing. You can see it. They got all that. There's a million camera angles out there, man. You can't miss it.
I got something to say about that because I'm a professional bowler. So if we do anything that's out of line, far as hitting stuff or cussing or doing something that should not be tolerated because we are professionals.
Yes.
They did the right thing by fining him.
Yes.
Suspension, I don't think he did anything to be suspended.
I do.
That to whom teaches his own.
Period.
But as a professional, I don't think the severity of it was that much for him to be suspended.
So allow me to create a narrative for a bowling narrative then. So let's just say that it's your turn. And you're going through your whatever your ritual is, and just as you take your first step, somebody on the opposing team grabs you by the back of your leg, your ankle, as you.
No,
or
I don't think that's.
I've seen it.
Or they throw the towel out on the floor in front of you,
and you buckle your knee and tear up your MCL and your ACL.
I gotta agree with y'all now.
Yeah, because you have to
see that.
Because you have to see. We'll have to show the video after.
Okay.
Because the player was in midair and was coming down, and Anthony Towns was, and it was right. If he hits that heating pad on the way down, his knee buckles the wrong way, and he's done.
I don't even have to see the video.
So let me.
You're absolutely right. I will back on.
But
he said that's how.
And speaking of that, there was another controversy during the playoffs. So Patrick Beverley, he's known as a hothead. Okay, so at the end of the Bucks game when they got eliminated,
they was getting eliminated by the Indiana Pacers.
There was a fan behind the Bucks bench. There was a reporter. He's like a well-known NBA reporter. He said that the fan chanted,
"See you in Cancun."
Cancun in 3.
Yeah, that means when you going to Cancun, you going on vacation. You getting eliminated.
Yeah.
So that's what they say now. You head on to Cancun, you out of here.
So what happened was Patrick Beverley hurled the ball at the fan, but it ended up hitting a woman that was sitting next to him.
Right?
So the fan, he just lobbed it back to him. He didn't throw it back. And Patrick Beverley did it again, but much harder.
This is as juicy as the women's basketball
so then afterwards, during an interview, which is an ESPN reporter, okay. And Patrick Beverley, he's all big about his podcast.
He's silly.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say his podcast ain't really all that good.
Thank you for tuning in on the Mike Podcast.
Yeah.
So, there was a reporter trying to get an interview with him. And he said, he looks at her and is like, do you subscribe to the pod? And she said, no. He's like, I'm not interviewing.
Well, you can't interview me. Somebody please remove her.
And she said, well, we got, her co-worker there. I guess he does subscribe to his pod. And so he was interviewing him, but she had the microphone pointed to him. he kept waving her microphone away.
Yeah, he told her, somebody please remove her. He said, somebody please take her microphone and remove her.
And then he said, do you subscribe to my pod? And she said no. And he's like, well, can you step out of the circle? Because there's a circle that they stand in.
Yeah.
And he said, get out of my circle. He got suspended 4 games.
4 games for hitting for one, hitting the female fan upside the head. And then when they tossed the ball back, he didn't even care about that. He tossed it again and tried to hit the fan that he tried to hit the first time and actually hit it. He kind of caught it though. But yeah, he lit the old girl up. He lit her up.
Yeah.
And then, but see, here's my thing to that. I think he got what he deserves. He's not great anyway. The team's not going to miss him. 4 games. That's going into next season.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
if
not
he's even on the bus.
Yeah.
Even if he's
even on a team. Because that was an elimination game. He was, and that's why they were saying, see you in Cancun. He was out of there. Peace, deuces.
And I think he becomes a free agent at the end of this season.
So it doesn't help him to have that. And I've always said that about him. For some reason, he's a distraction. He can make a shot and then get a technical foul because he didn't get the foul call or whatever. He'll kill the momentum of his team for no reason. He's just a distraction. But my main point of this is if you're gonna create a podcast and you want to be a media person, it doesn't matter what type it is. If it's audio, if it's video and audio, or if it's on TV, ESPN, you have to maintain a certain level of professionalism.
Yes.
And so just because it's a podcast and it's censor free doesn't give you the right to lose your professionalism because you're getting paid.
My thing is, what I would have said was, "Are you subscribing to my podcast?" She would have said no. I'm like, "Well, open your phone and I'm gonna show you where to subscribe."
Exactly.
Like, I would have made it a point to kind of, even if I'm talking to her about her subscribing to it, I'm gonna walk her step by step so whoever's listening to what we're talking about is doing the same thing on their device.
It doesn't make good business sense
at all.
Because think about it. Imagine if he even has just women that like basketball,
right?
And like what he talks about. Imagine when they hear him or see him disrespect that woman trying to do her job.
Or disrespect a girl throwing the ball.
Oh, also, too.
Unsubscribe.
And also,
with this feminist movement.
And it's an ESPN reporter, which holds a big deal on the TV deals. So
if they don't want him back.
In the NBA is...
Good luck getting picked up by another team.
Yeah, like no team is going to want that.
He made a very, very big mistake.
And the NBA don't want to be represented.
But he also missed on a big opportunity.
Yeah, he's been on somebody else's podcast and he has apologized. He said I'll have to be better, which is what he was supposed to do.
But also too, and he tried to say that the fan said something out of pocket for that.
They always that's they go to.
And now there's a police investigation.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they said. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he doesn't give himself a leg to stand on because what he committed was assault.
But see,
if she presses charges, it's a done deal. It's over.
But see, my thing is, if that fan would have said something worse than that, the bench wouldn't have acted the way they acted because they just stood there and looked at it.
And I'll go one step further. Giannis, the superstar of the team, he was out hurt. But he was on the bench. He actually went over and shook the fan's hand like, it ain't about all that. We get it. He went up. Yeah, it seems after Patrick Beverly threw it a second time, they were like trying to, shield Patrick Beverly from doing any more harm to, make the team look bad. So he went over and so that's great that, you actually get to shake, a fan got to shake your hand. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what you want. It's just friendly competition. At the end of the day, and fans are going to be what are going to be because players do the same thing to each other on the court.
Which brings up which is going to bring up my comment, and because it was kind of like I am a big Jamal Murray fan just because he is a UK player. You know what I'm saying, and he's a good player. But it's kind of who did it worse type deal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
have you heard his response? Have you heard his semi-apology?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so let me get into that real quick, and then I'm gonna let you say what you have to say because I don't want to. I want to stick a pin in what you got to say.
Right.
But I wanted to compare the two because Patrick Beverly, he actually apologized. He went on somebody else's podcast and said it should have never happened. I was wrong. I will be better. I should have been. No matter what they said. But they said more than Cancun. Of course, he had to slide that in. But he professionally apologized. Jamal Murray, on the other hand, so okay, so when it originally happened, he didn't come out for the press conference, so they never had a chance to question him about it.
And normally they fine people for that.
So 2 days later, after he gets his $100,000 fine, so that's the first thing, they're having their shoot arounds or whatever practice, and you still have the obligation to meet with the press during that time. So they're asking him, so what went on? Did you have a chance to, think about what you've done and this and that? He's like, well, I hold myself responsible, but it was what it was. Next question. And so they're still trying to understand, well, have you, do you feel like that you hurt the team or whatever? And he's like, I don't know why we're talking about this. There's nothing more I can say about this. This was 2 days ago. Next question.
Why is he acting like that?
I'm gonna get to that. That's a great question. That is a great question. That leads into my next point.
I feel like they should be doing him the way they did old dude that was betting against for himself in the.
Oh, you talking about Michael Porter Jr.'s brother?
Yeah.
But but see, that's the integrity of the sport, because now you can get out
there. But
there.
At the same time, what he did by throwing that heating pad out there is the integrity of the sport.
Yeah.
You were trying to cause somebody to completely not have a career anymore.
And the NBA spared him, and he's unapologetic.
Fact.
And so then he goes up and says he looks up and says, does anybody have a basketball question? That is a basketball question, because the game was going on at the time. So what are you doing? But so this is what my thought process is when you ask why you think he's doing that. It's that diva mentality.
Yeah.
It's the diva mentality. That's why it's hard for coaches to survive in the NBA.
I'm a professional athlete.
I'm making multi-millions, and it's I can do this, and I don't care what y'all. I'm still gonna play. And I didn't get suspended, and so I think that the NBA sent a wrong message. But at the same time, now he's got a reputation, because this is his first incident, but it's like 3-1, and so and plus the commissioner is going to be watching him, because now after we let you off with this $100,000 fine, you go out there and you say this. You don't even act like,
have no remorse.
You're not even thankful that we didn't suspend you during these finals. And then on top of that, they won the championship last year.
Yeah.
So now he's and I'm gonna say this one last point, and then I'm gonna turn it over to you all. Let you get your point out. But I've always thought that he cries a lot on the court. If you watch him play, he's never committed a foul since the 8th grade. If he commits a foul, a referee call a foul on him, he's up in arms. And then if he takes it to the hole and he doesn't get a call, he don't run back on defense. If he does, he's looking at the referee while he's running while he's running down the court and leaving so it's basically 5-on-4. And so he just to me, he just proved my point. I think he cries too much, and now it's moved off the court with him, and it's just showing. And so in the future, he's going to have to be better if he wants to be a superstar and be lifted up by fans in the league, because now he is officially a villain.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the fact of what has happened with the situation, wrong is wrong and right is right.
And he's not 100%.
You're not even wrong.
He's injured, so he's already damaged goods and affecting his team in a negative way just with his physical play. I mean, not able to play 100%. So just sit over and
your attitude in your mouth.
Yeah.
So my question is, as far as like right now, with all that going on, where is the NBA playoffs? Has it ended? Is it still going on?
Second round.
Second round.
In fact, it's really just game. It's the best of 7.
Yeah. Okay.
So they just completed game 2s, so they're about to go into game 3.
Round 3.
The best out of 7. So
they
played the first game, the second game, and so they're about to go into the third game.
Okay.
There's some teams that are up 2-0. And best of 7, you just got to win 4.
Gotcha.
And so there's some series are 1-1, some are 2-0. So they're going into the third game. So it's going to go into next week. It probably won't end until next weekend. And then after next weekend, after this round ends, and it's the finals. I mean, the conference finals to get to the NBA finals.
Well, hopefully the teams that's going through everything they're going through right now can actually shape whatever they need off and get back into the game.
Right,
And don't worry about all those shenanigans that their teammates are doing.
It's a distraction.
That's causing harm and distraction because they're all talented because they're there.
Yes.
So with that being said, they just need to focus on the win, the team work, and taking home the win and see if they can move forward into the playoffs.
Yes.
All right.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
That was some really good stuff. Y'all was debating right there. I thought y'all was about to start throwing
honestly,
in.
I could have bring up the coaches that got fired too, but we ain't gonna get it. That's a whole
Season 2 right around the corner.